So today, Pip and I feel like getting a leg up on life with Ledger from Legitimate. We're going to be reviewing Hercules Returns. Hi, Leggy.
G'day, boys. And first of all, thanks for having me on your channel. I'm a huge fan of the channel, and I really love this film as well. So for me, it's a win-win. But first, I know you guys do beer reviews as well, so I couldn't help myself. And in the theme of things, I got myself a can of Foster's. So if you don't mind, I'll have it it's been a while since I've actually had one of these, so... Have you boys ever had a Foster's?
Can't say that we have. There's not too many Australian beers imported in the US. So.
I can think of one.
It's just Foster's.
Foster's. And most things in Australia are poisonous, so I've always avoided this one.
Yeah, I'll do you a favor, don't.
Oh.
So this movie is a huge favourite of mine and has a bit of a cult following down here in Australia. And it's called Hercules Returns.
I'm looking forward to this.
Me too. I love movies with musclemen in them.
The movie starts out with a main character called Brad, and he works in a cinema down here in Melbourne, and he actually doesn't like his boss too much, so him and his friends decide to start their own cinema. Everything goes to plan. On opening night, as a bit of a gimmick, they decide to play the last film ever shown in that theatre, and it was an old Hercules movie. Brad's old boss shows up, and he decides to sabotage the entire event, and he changes the reels to an old Italian version of the movie.
I got a problem.
What? Good luck.
It's in Italian.
What?
The film, it's in Italian. It's in Italian!
The four friends band together and they decide to actually dub the entire movie as to not let it all go to waste. And here lies the genius of this film. The entire rest of the film is actually in the perspective of the audience watching the film of the dubbed version. Because this film is completely dubbed by four Australians, the actual movie is hilarious. They get in situations that you wouldn't expect them to be in. It's amazing. It is also very silly, so if you're looking for a movie that's really serious and has a really good plot line, this is probably not the movie for you. If you're looking for a very stupid, silly, funny adventure, this movie is brilliant.
Yeah, this movie is very, very goofy. It's got a very similar vibe to Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Which is awesome.
Or Mad Movies with the LA Connection, if you're familiar with that.
The interesting story behind this is it actually started with a group called Double Take. And they would go from theater to theater and they would be behind the audience dubbing these movies live. That way they could stay relevant with the times. And they had a producer come in and he saw how well the audience reacted to these dubs, and he's like, I gotta have this. This is gonna be a movie. I'm gonna pay for the rights for the old Italian Hercules film. I'm gonna pay for the rights for your script, and we're gonna make this.
It's gonna get done, boys. Let's make this a film. And then they did.
Some of the lines in this movie are hilarious and extremely Australian. Oh. Probably my favourite scene is where Sir Michael Kent, which is actually Brad's old boss from the cinema, comes up into the projection room and has a big fight with Brad. They time the punches and the fight scene with an actual fight scene in the movie. Therefore, the audience down below has no idea the whole thing is happening. This is exactly why this movie is great, because it's just stupid, it's well timed, and it's well written. I mean, in this movie, even the chickens have lines.
Hey guys, wait. Missed me cue.
I really want to know what you boys think though, because it's from a different perspective. This is my perspective. I want to know what you think, and if you actually enjoyed it at all. Oh.
We both really enjoyed this film. I watched it a couple times before filming this just to really get the feel for it, and I found it very enjoyable both times. But one thing that you haven't touched upon is this is really a movie within a movie.
Right, it's like a movie sandwich. You've got the movie, which is like the bread. Everyone likes bread, it's pretty good. And then you've got the movie. Well, let me just go over the basic plot. You've got Hercules, his dad is Zeus. And Zeus tells Hercules, go and do some shit. And Hercules is like, okay, I can go do that shit. Anyway, he gets sent to Chlamydia, which is a nightclub. Poppin' place, he wants to be a singer.
That's another song I could do in my act. The Great Pretender. Yeah, look, I could come out like this, okay? Oh, yes, I'm the great.
It's fine, Hercules, fine.
And he gets tricked by a tiny man with a big voice.
Before that, he actually gets tricked by the owners of the nightclub. who want him to marry the princess Labia.
Labia, right. Beautiful name.
What does that man think he's doing with his hands on my labia?
And there's something about there's this tavern that has a bouncer that they want to get rid of.
There was the beer garden. Oh no, you're talking about, okay, so he has to go find Samson. But before Samson, there was the bouncer who was trashing the place.
And he has to find Samson.
Yeah, and then the son from the guy from the restaurant come. It really doesn't matter. This isn't about the plot. Like,
thank goodness.
But it's a hilarious premise to dub these.
Right, you're not watching it for the story at all. You're watching it for the dubs.
I'll fight you on one condition, that you lower your nipples.
Classic comedy at its finest. It's just funny.
So thanks, Ledger, for introducing us to that, and I don't know if we should thank you for introducing us to Folgers. But
Folgers? Really?
Fosters. So we're gonna give this a shot, and as you can see, Kay must really love it because he already drank all of his.
I dumped it out off camera.
Well, luckily here in the States they give it to us in this gigantic can, so here you go. Charles. So it's got a very corny, little bit skunky, not like Heineken though, it's not quite that bad, but it's very corny aroma.
Yeah, it's got a smell to it, which is not pleasant.
All right, let's taste it.
Honestly, it's...
Oh. so it has no flavor to begin with.
Right, it's like totally bland carb water.
Which is like, okay, it's drinkable.
And then it hits you.
Here you go, sir.
Oh, did you piss in that? Oh, God.
It's like this rolling wave of sweetness, very, very corny, like sweet corn.
Yep.
And then at the end, it's like this kind of like burnt caramel. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a.
It tastes like coloring to me.
That's what it is.
It's a very chemical flavor.
It's a very artificial candy type flavor. This actually cost us $3.50 for this can, which
outrageous.
Doesn't make sense. It's not even actually imported. This is brewed in the U.S. and it says right on the can, brewed in the U.S. So I don't know if the recipes are exactly the same from here to there, but it's not a good beer.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Thanks, Ledger, for being on our show. We really enjoyed it. Anybody checking this out, definitely go over to his channel, Ledgitimate.
If you want to see real talent on YouTube, go there.
It's quality stuff. He does game reviews and a little bit of animation. Really awesome stuff. So we'll put a link down below and at the end of this. So thanks for watching Review and Brew.
You know, ride like the wind. Ride really fast. It's like this. I'll show you.
No, wait a minute.